would you, if there was, which I'm pretty sure there is, an annual gala for Cancer Research UK, and people at that gala were speaking and saying stories about being impacted by cancer, surviving cancer, living with someone who is going to die from cancer, would you shout at the top of your voice, "But what about Alzheimer's?" Okay, but we're talking about cancer. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. And furthermore, what about Alzheimer's? What are you doing about Alzheimer's? Because we're here fighting cancer. What are you doing about Alzheimer's? And do Alzheimer's support need a gala annually? Well, you go work on that. That's absolutely fine. If that's your cause and that's what you want to fight, that's fine. But this is not what we're talking about right now. That's not what this gala is about. That's not our purpose. That's how I feel about All Lives Matter. What is All Lives Matter? What is your purpose? What are you trying to support? And if you have a movement, that is absolutely fine. Go with it. Do what you can with it. Get support for it. But know what that means. Know what you stand for, because I tell you now, Black Lives Matter, we know what we're standing for. We're standing up and fighting against systematic racism. We're standing up and fighting against police brutality. We're standing up and fighting for equality across all different walks of life. That is what Black Lives Matter stands for. So what do you stand for? And do you stand for this all the time? Or do you only stand for it now? It is absolutely ridiculous that that is the comeback. Why do, and this is so ironic, right? Black people are saying that we're oppressed and we don't have a voice and things don't change for us. And you're doing it again because you're trying to drown us out with All Lives Matter. You're doing that. You're doing it. You're still doing it. I'll say it again. Why would you turn around and have support and listen to somebody who has been a victim of domestic violence? You would not turn around and say, was she though? Was that really domestic violence? If a woman put up a picture of being battered and bruised at the hands of a man, would there be outrage? Of course there would. Would people be rallying behind her to get support and look for services and help? Of course they would. But put up a picture of a man who has died under the knee of a police officer, and we get a picture of Lee Rigby. Lost for words. Stop. I'm asking the question. I want to know. I want people to speak to me. I'm willing to listen to get to the bottom of this. But what is it about Black Lives Matter that offends you so much that you don't want to support the cause? I'm talking to, if you support the cause, then I'm not talking to you, so you don't need to get offended by this. I don't want to hear who he's talking about when you say that. I'm talking to the people that say all lives matter. Right, so if you're not one of those, you don't need to be offended, right? Okay, so you tell me why that's your response. And I had this debate with somebody on social media, And I said, is it the name that offends you? Is the title Black Lives Matter what offends you? If we took out black and called it, I don't know, anything, Lives Matter, but it was still a group for black people, would that offend you? What is it? I really would like to know. But like I said, just remember that when you're about to say it. Just remember that person who has lost their family member to cancer, that you would not turn around and say to them, but what about Alzheimer's? You wouldn't do it. So do us a favour and don't do that when I say Black Lives Matter.